Ladies and gentlemen, traders, how are you guys doing today on this lovely day? How are you guys doing on this beautiful election day? Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you're doing well. And I do apologize that you've had to go 15 hours without hearing my lovely voice since yesterday's recap. But without any fear, Relentless Trader is here to sing songs of motivation, songs of encouragement, songs of victory to the ears of the subscriber. Your fearless leader is here once again, and he is thriving in the markets. Looking forward to staying mentally intact and in tune. Guys, today we had a couple of stocks. It was a little choppy for me. Did start down 1100, but not for 1 second did we think it was going to be a red day. We knew what it was going to be if we were to get a hot stock, a strong stock, and so we did. And we positioned ourselves to get green on the day. We handled our business and we got out. Lost $800. Now after fees, maybe about half of this because we traded this cheaper stock with, we pushed over 2.5 million shares in and out, so about 5 million shares total. You guys know how it goes with those cheaper stocks. The more shares you trade, the more fees you pay, right? So it wasn't really a great day in terms of net, but from down 1100 to green, hey, we'll take what we can get, right? So with that being said, hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Remember our disclaimer. Remember that day trading, of course, is risky business. A lot of people out there are having a hard time. A lot of people are losing money. So take it slow. Educate yourself. Become competent and experienced before putting out a lot of risk. Other than that, remember, copy trading does not work on the live streams or in the recaps here. And lastly, I do not invest for my subscribers. So be careful of fake accounts on all platforms. I will never message you first, okay? I do not invest for my subscribers, which means I will never message you first. I'm trading all day, doing back end work all day. I don't have the time to go text everybody. All right, so just be careful with that. There's fake accounts, people pretending to be me. Other than that, let's jump into it. So we'll start off with ZVSA, some of the losses, and then make our way up. ZVSA. This one we took on at the open. Sadly, it gave a decent move over the VWAP, right? This is where I'm watching at the stock. Right in here, the 1 minute candle does make the new high, but I could not capitalize. I mean, the move went so fast from 286 up to 323 in the blink of an eye, and from there it pushed up to 37. The pullback where we got caught because we missed the move up. It was so sudden, so quick, not really offering a lot of entries along the way. We tried to buy the pullback, and this thing dipped down all the way to 94 from a high of 37. We got chopped out. Getting in a little higher. And then it did bounce, and it bounced without us. It bounced up to 26. So, in this area here, if you were able to anticipate the dips accurately towards the absolute lows, or at least close to it, you could have done well. But again, a lot of times we're not really expecting that full retracement. And that's essentially what happened here, is that this thing went all the way back where it came from before bouncing, which was very, very difficult to predict. We did want to see the 5 minute candle to make the new high over here, but it ended up, failing. We didn't really get the continuation. So just a lot of chop. You can see we never really picked a direction in this range. Let's see if we're to zoom out of the pre-market. Let's zoom out on all the charts here so you guys can get a better idea of what was going on. So you can see we had a high of 338, low of 248, and we were still inside of this huge range. Now within this range, it's pretty big. Can we make money? The answer is yes, but as mentioned, we didn't really get a lot of entries on the big green candles going up here, and the pullbacks were exaggerated. So we bought a little high, got stopped out. That's essentially what happened here. But for anybody else who might have maybe anticipated or let's say anticipated this range here a little bit better in terms of the highs and lows, hey, you could have maybe been in low, selling high, and in low, selling high, right? But a little tricky. We had also here, let's come back to our list. We had AGFY, which was strong pre-market, and I botched it. I came in with the right mindset today of, hey, anything that moves, that looks good, I'm getting in. I'm getting in quick and aggressive and early. And sadly, I botched this thing, man. You know, on this big green candle here, we went from 490 up to 601. You know, a part of this was, I don't know, this thing just kind of just took off, man. Like, I was here, it was on my screen, but by the time I'm like really looking at it, it's already at like 520 or 530. We didn't really get to see the candlestick from bottom, which is part of the issue. Let's see where our first set of entries came. 577. It was just, again, for a move that started at 490, we need to be in at 510, 515, 520. So again, that was part of the issue here. And this was us trying to buy a dip off of the high, thinking that this green candle would continue into a series of green candles. That was not the case. The stock then pulled back to a low of 33, and this is where I was a little disappointed with myself because I was not super aggressive towards these lows. I hesitated once, and the other time the spread was a little too big. We had 43 by about 46. The low of the last was 33, so I was thinking, man, maybe we might need to see it go a little lower. But again, that's just where we bottomed, and I noticed it, and I did not jump in, so that was on me. And that went from 46 to 73, which would have been a great trade. That would have been a great trade, man. Anyhows, it pulled back. So I missed the first two times, which was right here. The third time, I always am a little bit more cautious, so naturally I avoided this trade. And from here, it started to curl. I did try the 1 minute candle to make the new high at 63 a couple times. You can see I'm in at 68, 72, and stopping out for losses. Right idea on these two candles here, but I got chopped out and it ended up going up without me again. Now break of 6 comes, and here I finally get my first good trade. I'm in at 601. Now you can see with my offset, I'm getting filled with so much slippage. It's about, I think, 15 cents offset. I'm in, and I'm out. Where did I sell? Let's see. 643. It's a great exit. Great trade. But after that, we gave back profits even. So we went from red 200 to green 200, and then we gave money back, bleeding out here on this downtrend. So sometimes what I'm really looking for here is consolidation. If the first candle price is in a low and then we break down, I think that's fine. But from like right here is where we got to start basing out. But you can see like we continue to make new lows, and this is where I should have been walked away. I should have been walked away like after this green candle here didn't bounce. And I kept trying and I kept giving back. Then I was red about 350. So that was AGFY. Moving on to the next stock. BNOX, cheaper stock at 50 cents. I think we might have been green. 80 bucks at best, 100 bucks at best, and then we gave it back. Just a little choppy, a little bit of a spread. We did get a decent consolidation here, but we weren't able to properly capitalize. The volume didn't feel as high as it could have been, and that was also part of it. But it did go from 52 cents up to 61 cents right here, about an 8-9 cent move. And I think this was probably one of the best areas. We did have a bit of a curl up here and another uptrend later in the day over here, but other than that, that was all this one wrote. SPPL, not much today. Maybe tomorrow we get some better action for continuation. ZCAR, which was one of the more impressive stocks today, but started off with super light volume, was very untrustworthy, and ultimately just difficult to trade. I think, for me, the day was a bit of a slower day. I was getting chopped around. I was red, fought my way back to green, and I played it a little on the safer side. I didn't really increase my risk or expose myself to a lot of risk here on the stock. And I don't know, sometimes it's so hard to know if that's the right thing or not. Um, I was using very small size. I was at one point up $1 a share, right? Which means if I was using fair share size, I would have been up like 1,500 or 2K. If now, if that's the share size I would have used on a normal day if I'm looking to be aggressive here. So, did I leave money on the table? Perhaps. But the stock in itself was tricky. We had an ABCD setup. That's where we have our bit of a W, right? Let me pull up my drawing tool here. So we had this W, we had the first leg up. You can see the volume here, just super light. So not much going on there, but we start to pull back and we get this base right here. It does bottom out. It curls up again. We get this midpoint. It comes down and retests that previous level, right? It retests, well, and not erased everything. It retests the previous level. I guess it was one drawing. It retests this previous level and double bottom. So a lot of the times on the ABCD, we're going to look for either a higher low or in this case, a double bottom. If not, if it breaks down, can we reclaim the level right here, get back above, and curl up? But ideally, double bottom higher lows are pretty good. And that's exactly what this one did, double bottom. And so if I'm not in on the double bottom, I'm going to look for the entry either in this case over VWAP or at the midpoint coming across right here. So these are my two entry points potentially if I'm going to be watching for trades. But they were tricky. They were tricky. Volume was a little lighter, but then volume just came out of nowhere. And it was aggressive going up. We had a high consolidation and a high flag. So remember, we talked about the bull flag yesterday, right? We got to move up, sideways consolidation. If you think about your country's flag, this right here is green candles going up. And then the flag itself, right? The pole and then the flag itself. The flag is consolidation. Are we going to go down or are we going to go up? Right, so we have the pole, and then here's the flag, consolidation. Are we going to go up, or is it going to break down? A bit of a elongated flag. The flag kind of, we had lows right here. You can see highs, so we're consolidating. And we caught a great trade right here, by the way, for this breakdown and reclaim of the flag and of the level. I'll show you guys that trade here. I think this is one of our better trades. This is around 11:25 a.m. Let me just pull up my live trading archive. $11:25 a.m. And again, this is where I'm saying, size-wise, right? So where are we? And I did go red. I did went red about 400 before coming back green. So that's also another thing I forgot about. Let's see here. Because this breakdown was a really nice trade. And this is what really got us back to green. So the low of the level was around 75. It's going to come down below. But it didn't really, and this is a risky trade because there's going to be, there are days where I buy right here and it doesn't bounce. So you got to be ready to manage risk. But anyhow, we're in, right? Remember, and I'm in a little higher, which wasn't great. I thought I was in before this. Like, I thought I was in earlier. Let's just double check. Oh, there's a spread 60. So we had 61 by 85, 66 by 85. Yeah, this spread is massive. So I'm gonna get in on the ask here essentially, and there's my risk, right? 30. The moment I'm in, my risk is immediately 30 cents because the bid is down 30 cents. Some people will not take this trade, and I understand. It could have easily been a loss, but I go for it. And honestly, I sold. So I sold 500 maybe The spread might not have even been up this high yet, but we sold 500. And I was looking to hold the other half a little higher, but I don't think it kept going, at least not right away. So, and look at this, 780 other bids, right? So this is where these stocks are extremely difficult to trade. This is why I didn't really size up. This is part of why I didn't size up. And I'm really remembering now the spreads were crazy. You know, this type of stuff with big size, man, you can get blazed so easily. We took the other half off in the spreads. And actually, you know what? I think I did go to 1500 at least once. You can see I had 2K size right here. But I wasn't as aggressive as I maybe could have been. But still, I think we played it well, all things considered. Trades like that, you know, which is a little unfortunate. I have the intuition that it's going to continue. But I'm in, and you can see like the volume kind of comes to a standstill. The bids come down to 24. There's some green, but then nothing happened to 39. So I'm thinking, okay, let me just cut this trade and then wait. Maybe it comes down some more before it goes. So and that's what's going to get me out right here. That small wave of buying that came and nothing happened. And I'm just going to say, okay, let's get out. And then the moment I get out at 40, this thing's at 69, man, and it's like, son of a gun. This is how close every trade every day. It's just, that's what it is, right? But anyhow, that was the CAR. And what else did we have here? BJDX, which was the stock of the day for me. This one went from 8 cents. This is an actual penny stock, from 8 cents up to 24 cents, which is about 300%. And I got involved. I think I came around like 9. So hold on, let's see, maybe a little higher. Well, actually looking back at it, I did see it fairly early. Volume here wasn't that high. I saw this thing at 10 a.m., which wasn't bad at all. So shout out to the pastor for checking his scan. And I don't know why I talk about myself in the third person like that, but yeah. I checked my scan, saw it, and got involved, and that was good that I did. This thing, you know, we had the range wasn't crazy in terms of like a $10 stock, you know, 50-cent move, $1 share move, but for this price range, you know, it was all relative. We would get a penny move, and with a penny move on this type of price, with the type of size that we could use, it was fair game. And so I was in there very aggressively. Again, we traded a total of 2.5 million shares. You know, areas like this where we'd pull back to the VWAP and then bounce. 1 minute candle making a new high, low of 12, high of 14. And so buying the dip, selling the pop, and actively scalping each, you know, fraction of a penny, each penny, just over and over and over again for each uptrend. We avoid the longer downtrends and pullbacks in areas like this. We look to dominate. All right, areas like this, we look to dominate. And you guys will notice when it started to sell off, man, I could have done like 3K on this stock, man, but it got so like right here, basically from here, from like right here on, I didn't make money. Like on the screen count, even like some of this, I made no money. Like I only made money here. And then it picked up in a little bit more volume and range. And I would get some higher fills. I would buy a little late at times. I started complaining too, which maybe was part of it, that I got distracted and wasn't as locked in. And I would say, I'd argue that this area was the area to potentially make the most, as the candlesticks were a little bigger. I was up 1800 before we got into this area here. Went from 18 down to 13, back to 17, down to 12, and then up back to 50, yeah, shy of 60, so 15. You know, and that's all that churn is us complaining, missing trades, being a little slow getting in, a little unfortunate on some of the entries as well. But if we were to avoid those losses and actually capture all those trades we could have captured, we could have added another 1K to 1300, maybe 1500, finish up around 28 to 3K. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all good. We'll look to improve on the next one tomorrow. And guys, that was the day. That was it. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're a new viewer. And remember, the prices are going up. If you're interested in learning how to trade, now is one of the best times ever to check out Merciless Markets. Merciless Markets, the day trading course and service that I offer. We are fixing up some things on the back end. Like there's been a few things that's been mentioned to us that we're going to update soon. Like our prices here. This price here usually is what the membership will be after a 40% coupon. There are certain things we're going to edit up and fix up here coming into the next week and a week and a half and have everything situated. But yeah, guys, check it out. Merciless Markets, the place to be if you want to get involved in day trading. All right, stay safe, stay green. Tomorrow again, bright and early, 8:30, 8:50 a.m. And I'll see you guys then. Pre-market, man. Pre-market. Tomorrow we meet again.